here with 1960 Big Ten football, the best in the nation. We're going to bring you Sportlite's all Big Ten team, the stars who led the Western Conference to the greatest record ever on college gridirons. An undefeated season against non-conference opponents, 18 victories and 2 ties. And now Sportlite's all Big Ten team, standouts every one. Here they are in action. At end, Earl Fasion, Indiana, number 86, 6 feet 5 inches tall, 235 pounds. A Hoosier pass intended for Fasion. It's tipped by the defender, and the alert Fasion grabs it. A billiard shot touchdown for Indiana. He's sure-handed and a smart football man. Here again, he's the target for an Indiana pass, and he's a hard man to bring down. Earl Fasion, the son of a shipyard worker in Newport News, Virginia, wants to be a physical therapist. A good student, a fine pass receiver, and he'll leave a big hole to fill at Indiana. At tackle, Fran Brickschutz, Minnesota, number 76. 21 years old, 6 feet 4 inches tall. He weighs a gigantic 255 pounds. He studies chemical engineering, has worked on construction during the summer, and in the Minnesota Highway Department. He's a senior from St. Cloud, Minnesota. His hobby is swimming, and he likes driving a speedboat, too. Most of all, he likes driving opposing linemen out of position. The opponents always try to test him. Here he is, second from the left, plugging up his hole to tackle. Nobody gets through there. On offense, he's rugged, too. Second from the right. Drives his man to the inside, and the fullback slides through for a 5-yard gain. Again, Brickschutz in slow motion takes one man right out of position, enabling the ball carrier to swing outside. Fran Brickschutz, all Big Ten from Minnesota. At guard, Tom Brown of Minnesota, number 69. Coach Murray Warmath says Brown is the best college football player in the nation. 6 feet tall, 243 pounds. Cat quick, and so agile he can turn a front flip and land on his feet. Constant training keeps him in trim. On defense, he's through the line so fast he's literally a fifth man in the opposing backfield. On this first play, you'll see him go into Iowa guard Bill DeCindio so hard that he knocks quarterback Wilburn Hollis to the ground. An outstanding defensive play, and a crucial one in that particular game. Brown is married and the father of a small son. Here, he shakes off a block, turns and makes the tackle. On offense, he's equally valuable. He lunges forward to form a wedge for quarterback Sandy Stevens to score a Minnesota touchdown. Although Brown is a senior, he has one more big game for the Gophers against Washington in the Rose Bowl. Watch him here, pulling out of the line, on offense, and makes the key block. Yes, sir, Tom Brown, one of the all-time greats of the Big Ten. At center, Jerry Smith, Michigan, number 51. 195 pounds, 5 feet 11, a pre-medical student. Smith also wears contact lenses. He played both fullback and center at Michigan, became a center because the Wolverines had fullbacks but didn't have centers. His determination, hard work, and perseverance have made him great. Jerry is a linebacker on defense, although he's kind of small for that chore. He rarely makes an error on diagnosing a play. Against Ohio State, he plugs the hole, grabs Bob Ferguson, forcing him to fumble, and Michigan recovers the ball. On offense, when they don't play head-on-head, he centers the ball, spots his target, blocks him out, and a good gain is set up for the Wolverines. Sometimes he'll pull out after he snaps the ball to help on those wide sweeps. Jerry Smith, captain of the Wolverines, one of the Big Ten's most valuable players. At guard, Mark Manders, Iowa, number 69, 5'10", 200 pounds. In the Iowa system, the guards pull out on many plays. Here, Manders, number 69, leading through the opening for Jerry Maury. Manders pulling again through the opening, a beautiful block, and it springs Larry Ferguson loose for a short gain. A tough job to do for a guard to pull out Manders does it superbly. Again, he goes through the hole, making those knifing blocks. He's equally good on defense. Number 69 in the dark uniforms, chasing Tom Matty, and then pulling up from behind to stop the ball carrier. All-conference guard Mark Manders. At tackle, Jerry Bebout, Purdue, number 76, 222 pounds, 6'3", from Mansfield, Ohio. Strong and quick, Bebout starred on offense and defense. The Boilermaker quarterbacks never hesitated to send a play behind him. Big, strong, rugged. Here he blocks out at the hole, and Vic Jones goes through for a nice game. Bebout again, smothering his man, and another game for the Boilermakers. Bebout was all-state in high school, studying science, and here he forms science again up front for a good game for Purdue. And for the touchdown, he's right at the bottom of the pile. When the Boilermakers want to pass, Bebout does some fine blocking. Plenty of time for Bernie Allen to throw. Jerry Bebout, Purdue's all-conference tackle. At end, Albert Kimbrough, Northwestern, number 86. From Galesburg, Illinois, 6 feet tall, 195 pounds, a senior. A pass-catching star, a great player on defense, amazing intuition to diagnose a play. On the receiving end, put it near him, he's got it. Fred Quinn throwing. Kimbrough deep. Makes the catch around 4 men. Dick Thornton now, throwing to Kimbrough. A sure shot. Kimbrough accounted for nearly 400 yards in pass receiving, caught 26 passes for the Northwestern Wildcats. And on those clutch plays, he was particularly a standout. In the end zone, all alone, shaking himself loose, and then, of course, making the catch. And thrilling the crowd and the Pon girls of Northwestern. L is Thornton's favorite target. Throws, he's got it again, and you'll notice he can hang on to that ball no matter how hard he's racked. On defense, he's equally as exciting a player, coming in on Fabry of Wisconsin and throwing him out of bounds. He likes it rough. On offense once again, catches it, and then makes that extra yard that marks a great player. When Northwestern needed yardage, the Wildcats could always count on L. Kimbrough, Northwestern's all-conference end. At halfback, Wilburn Hollis, Iowa, number 20, 200 pounds, 6 feet 2 inches tall. Hollis is from Possum Trot, Mississippi, and a graduate of Boys Town, Nebraska. A fine athlete, a born leader, and a real credit to college football. Versatility is Hollis's trademark. He runs, he passes, he keeps Iowa moving. Here, a bootleg to the left. He drives, and it's a touchdown for the Hawkeyes. On the option play, Hollis, with a beautiful fake, keeps on going and picks up long yardage. A very clever ball handler is Hollis. After making the fakes, he has the ability to turn on the speed. Makes no difference, right or left. Hollis can carry the ball behind superb Iowa blocking. The fans happy with Wilburn Hollis, and well they should be. He takes and goes all the way, taking the Hawkeyes another big step toward a co-championship in the Big Ten. And when Wilburn isn't passing or isn't running, he's bootlegging the ball and mixing everything up. This one was a perfect strike to Winston of Iowa. Wilburn likes the rough going, too. He's big enough to hit the line, and he does it when Iowa needs a yard. He bangs for it, and he gets it. And when Iowa needs points, Hollis is cool under fire. Here against Wisconsin, remember, the final 50 seconds. The pass goes to Sammy Harris. He's got it for an Iowa score. The winning touchdown in an exciting football game. Another plunge for short yardage. Wilburn averaged nearly 5 yards per carry in going 500 yards in rushing this year. Close to the goal line, he sneaks. Another of the 11 touchdowns he bagged, 8 in the Big Ten, to tie for the Big Ten scoring championship. Long yardage needed here. Swings outside. Heads for the goal line. And he passes the last chalk strut. Wilburn is just a junior, which means he'll be back for 1961. And here he goes again. Watch this superb fake. And enables him to go an additional 10 or 12 yards. Yes, he'll be back next year, and Iowa's new head coach, Jerry Burns, is happy about that. Touchdown for Iowa. Wilburn Hollis, all conference from Iowa. At the other halfback spot, Tom Matty, Ohio State, number 41. A senior from East Cleveland, Ohio, 190 pounds, 6 feet tall. A big man on campus and one of the best-liked students at Ohio State. He began his career as a halfback. Coach Woody Hayes switched him to quarterback because he liked the way Matty chooses plays. He doesn't pass a lot, but he's the second best passer in the Big Ten, with gains of 481 yards. He's also the second best rusher with 471 yards, and runner-up in total offense with 952 yards. He has that great ability to cross up the defense. Back to pass, and a perfect strike to Tom Perdue. Now in slow motion, you can watch the moves of Tom Matty. Sure, quick, confident, and right on the mark. The opponents found it very difficult to set their defenses against Matty. As witness, this Ohio State touchdown against Michigan State. And when the opponents were looking for that pass, all Matty had to do was put his head down, and he can move. An instinctively fine runner. Perhaps the best runner at Ohio State since Les Horvath back in the mid-40s. Tom again after the double fake. He turns on the speed, and look at him go. Setting up an Ohio State touchdown. And when they thought he'd run, he'd pass. When Matty was trapped, he was very effective. Receivers are covered, so he hurdles his own man and picks up valuable yardage. Matty's coach, Woody Hayes, calls Tom one of the greatest all-around offensive players in Ohio State history. The defense often bewildered on just how to stop Tom. When he gets a little bit of daylight, that's all he needs. He can shift gears and move down the field. Very rarely do you get a real good shot at Matty. He'll give you the hip and then take it away. And on this one, he's all the way for an Ohio State score. At fullback, Bob Ferguson, Ohio State, number 46, 217 pounds, 6 feet tall, a junior from Troy, Ohio. Ferguson was a halfback a year ago. Now he's a fullback, and few players run with his power. Few are as hard to bring down as he is. Believe it or not, he has a 22-inch neck and a body of solid muscle, the durability of an iron anvil. The Big Ten's leader in rushing with 560 yards, and with Matty, forms the greatest 1-2 punch in football. In all, Ferguson scored 8 touchdowns in conference play to tie for the Big Ten scoring title. Every time he takes the ball, it's punishment for the defense. Ferguson hits as hard as any ball carrier in the country. And when there isn't a hole in the line, he usually can make his own. Here he is, in close, head down, blasting his way in for an Ohio State touchdown. And of course, when the defense is poised in there to stop Ferguson, it makes Matty and the rest of the Ohio State backs all the more effective. And even when the defense is in, he can blast right through them for touchdown. One of the amazing things about Bob Ferguson is his tremendous bursting speed. Here he kicks off 65 yards, putting the Buckeyes into scoring territory. And now watch him go. He slides through a small opening and then takes off. And there's nobody who can catch him. Inside or outside, Bob Ferguson is one of the very best. And when things get going tough at the tackles, he can slant, go outside, then cut back. Makes no difference, right or left. This time, he swings to the left side, running with the speed and the agility of a scat back. And yet with that tremendous power. As one writer put it, the tank with cleats, and we agree. And when that goal line's in sight, he is really tough to bring down. Unstoppable Bob Ferguson, all-conference fullback from Ohio. The quarterback of our all-Big Ten team is Bernie Allen of Purdue, number 15. A senior from East Liverpool, Ohio, 21 years old, 6 feet tall, 173 pounds. Allen, cool and calm and brilliant under fire. Also very versatile. Bernie, number 15. When he's in charge, the Boilermakers are the most exciting team in the conference. A perfect pass, putting Purdue in scoring position. Rushing doesn't seem to break his rhythm up any. When the opposing linemen are in on him, he calmly steps back and spots his receivers. Moving into the pocket of protection, and Johnny Elwell has it for a nice game. Allen has exceptional vision. He can see his men when they break into the open. Oftentimes in the Purdue pass patterns, one man will go short and the next man will go long. And here, in that kind of a situation, Tiller scores the touchdown off the fingertips of the short man. And of course, bringing great cheers from the Purdue crowd. Bernie Allen, right on the mark, with passes that are hard to intercept and are right in the breadbasket of the receivers. Bernie can kick too. Here's a three-pointer that upset Minnesota, and he did the same thing against Ohio. A perfect pass, and in desperation, the defender committed pass interference, setting Purdue up for a touchdown. That's Tam Yakubowski going in for the score. You'll notice on the belly series, Allen hides the ball beautifully, adding to the deception. And then, just about the time that the defenders think that fullback gets the ball, Allen keeps it himself and swings outside and goes in for a touchdown. Bernie Allen, quarterback of our All-Big Ten team. And that's the All-Big Ten football team selected by Sportlite's Board of Experts. They had to beat out some tremendous competition. Fellows like tackle Joe Rutkins of Illinois, number 79. Watch Rutkins here, putting the clamp on the ball carrier and bringing him to a halt for no gain. Rutkins also has great pursuit. He never gives up until he's got a paw on the ball carrier. And just about the time you think you're in the clear, he'll move up from behind and snag you before you realize it. Another outstanding player, Ron Miller, Wisconsin's quarterback, number 90, a sophomore. Miller was the total offense leader in the Big Ten with 981 yards this year. And all that despite a couple of ankle injuries. Miller's a fine runner, especially on this draw play, where he goes all the way for a Wisconsin score. One of the most brilliant passing combinations that we saw in the Big Ten this year was Miller to end Pat Richter, number 88. The combination the next season might be the greatest in the nation. Against Michigan, Richter broke his collarbone and was out for the rest of the year. It happened on that play. In close, Miller goes in to score. One of his favorite targets was fullback Tom Wiesner, who led the Big Ten in pass receiving. With Miller back, Wisconsin's slogan is, wait till next year. Mike Ingram of Ohio State, a fire-plug guard, number 64, hard rock on defense, the only Buckeye on the defensive platoon who can step into an offensive berth. And when Ingram tackles, the ball carrier stays down. Number 64, watch it. Jimmy Tiller, number 21 of Purdue, a scatback who's a real crowd pleaser. Jimmy's a baffling runner who doesn't give the defense much of a target to shoot at. Watch him here as he leaves the fans gasping at his speed. Down the sidelines he goes, and it's all the way for Jimmy Tiller and a touchdown, Purdue. Marshall Starks, number 22, Illinois, halfback. Illinois really started to move when Starks began to move about mid-season time. Can he get away? Not that time, but he puts Illinois into scoring position. And on the next play, he takes the pitch back from Easterbrook, picks his hole, slides away from the tacklers, and goes in to score. Marsh is sure-handed and a very good pass receiver. A constant threat whenever he's in the ball game. And when it's in close, a man you can count on is Marshall Starks. Another outstanding Big Ten player, Dick Thornton, number 10, Northwestern quarterback, who missed one full season because of a broken ankle, came back in 60 and came back strong. A brilliant passer and a fine runner. One of his favorite targets, El Kimbrough, who was named to our All-Big Ten team. Now with the ball, Thornton decides to run. And does a fine job, too. Now, if you're an opponent, don't kick off to him, because you might wish you hadn't, as Illinois found out. But he took this kickoff and scampered 83 long yards. One of the most exciting plays of the entire year. These were some of the challengers for Sportlite's all Big Ten team and prime candidates to make it next year. Remember, we'll be back next week at the same time with a seasonal review of all the Big Ten teams. You'll see more of the stars of Big Ten football. You'll see the plays that pleased nearly 3 million fans in 1960, fans who watched the greatest college football in America week after week, game after game. Big Ten football has been selected for viewing by our armed forces overseas.